after nuclear sites. Military sites are on target in Iran. The Israeli Defense Forces jets, the Israeli Air Force fighter jets, are currently attacking military infrastructure in Iran's Kermanshah area. That's the latest that we are getting, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this conflict still continues. Israel continues to attack certain infrastructure, certain sites that it considers a threat towards it. And right now, as we speak, fighter jets are currently attacking military infrastructure in Iran's Kermanshah area, is what we're getting to know. All right, let me get back to Mr. Concricus, who continues to stay with us. Mr. Concricus, you know, because you're somebody who's also had several years of experience in combat zones, particularly Gaza Strip in Lebanon, I also want to understand from you, a lot of experts are saying whether military prowess will be sort of overshadowed by strategic strength on part of Iran. Do you think that's going to happen? Perhaps militarily, Iran cannot stand up to Israel and America, but in terms of strategy, do you think they can sort of, at least equate themselves now with Israel and US?
Yeah, so the Iranian regime for 25 years had a clear strategy of exporting terrorism all across Western Asia, and they did so through a network of proxies: Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, Islamic Jihad in Gaza and in Syria, and of course the Houthis in Yemen, and many other terrorist entities that they funded and armed. What Israel has done since October 7, since Hamas's attack on Israel, which killed about 1,300 Israelis, and when Hamas took 251 Israelis hostage, is to gradually dismantle that ring of fire that the Iranian regime built around Israel. And now the final stage is actually taking the business back to Iran, which is the source of violence and instability in Western Asia. That's, of course, a fundamental change for the Iranian regime. They're struggling to comprehend the situation. They're struggling to adapt to this new environment where they no longer are in the driving seat. They are no longer dictating events, and they do not anymore enjoy superiority or first move advantage. Israel has now taken the initiative. Israel is now driving events, and Israel has shown, I would say, complete military dominance over Iran, even though it is 1,200 kilometers away, even though it's unprecedented in Western Asian history that is a country as small as Israel is capable of attacking and dominating a country as big as Iran. This is fact, this is reality, and the Iranian regime is struggling to understand the severity of the situation and exactly how vulnerable it is. I am confident that Israeli actions will have a positive, prosperous effect on the region.
But at this point, can I also ask you then, there's a lot of talk about how the axis of resistance might be activated. Yes, they have suffered considerable damage to their top leadership, whether it's Hamas, Houthis, or Hezbollah. Do you think now they will be reactivated, or perhaps, some sort of sleeper cells will be activated across the West Asian region?
The Iranians spent billions and billions of dollars in building this proxy network, and it lies in ruins. The first call that Tehran made on the 13th of June, when Israel launched its first strikes on Iran, was to Hezbollah, the most important and lethal Iranian proxy, and Hezbollah bowed out. They cowered out, and they decided not to join in the Iranian retaliatory attacks against Israel, and I think a very wise decision by Hezbollah. That was the most powerful piece. Of course, the Iranians still have residual capabilities and maybe sleeper cells, but seriously, at the strategical level, Iran, from a military perspective, has been outwitted and outperformed by Israel, and we can spin it and try to look at it from any perspective we want. These are the facts. The Iranian regime has been exposed as incompetent, incapable of defending itself, and now faces two options: de-escalate and acknowledge the fact that you are not going to achieve any nuclear weapons ever and deal with that fact, or face the possible expansion of Israeli targeting to goals that will not only be pure military, but national infrastructure and dual purpose targets. And this would significantly threaten the stability of the regime, and it could really bring the entire Iranian nation to a halt. This is now the choice that the Iranian regime faces, and I hope that they're smart about it.
Okay. I'm going to come to the regime change in a bit, Mr. Concricus. I request you to stay with us. I want to tell our viewers how the United States operates